I'm here, really, to ask you to help me to change the world by remembering and sharing 3 numbers. The first number is 16 million. The next is less than 1%. And the last is 19 years. What do these numbers mean? Well, there are 16 million refugees in the world. These are people who fled their homes because of war or because of targeted persecution based on who they are. They're the wrong religion, the wrong skin color, the wrong sexual orientation. Less than 1% of these folks will reach the US, Canada, Europe, Australia, and New Zealand combined. That means the vast majority of refugees remain just across a border from their homes, somewhere in Africa, Asia, and Latin America. And this slide's old. The average time in a refugee camp, not even 17 years now, it's 19 years. Just think about that for a minute. Think about where you were 19 years ago. Think about what you've done in the last 19 years. For refugees in many parts of Africa, Asia, and Latin America, they're not allowed to move freely. They're not allowed to work. They're not allowed to put their kids in school. They're literally locked up behind barbed wire. And this has been the default international response to refugees almost since we started having refugees after World War II. The good news is that we can change this. And we can change it really by just switching our thinking just a little bit, starting to see refugees not as passive victims with endless needs, but as people with rights, as people with the power to rebuild their own lives if only they're given the chance to do so. And under international law, refugees have a whole host of rights, right? I bet a lot of you were really surprised that people get stuck in internment camps for 19 years. But our clients, Asylum Access's clients, refugees all over the world, tell us that really 2 rights are most important. The right to work and the right to freedom of movement, to move safely so that they can live and work without being afraid of being arrested and deported back to a country that might kill them. It's pretty simple. And it's really not challenging in many ways to change the way that the international community responds to refugees. We simply need to acknowledge that the war is not going to be over by Christmas and start seeing refugees as people with rights, start allowing them to work, start helping them to integrate and rebuild their lives. We can do this with 4 tools. Legal aid, right? Basic, help people get legal status, help people get work permits. Community legal empowerment, which allows refugees to come together to make sure that newcomers understand their rights and to stand together to assert those rights. Policy change, changing national laws and policies so these rights aren't just in international law, but are enforceable in every country where refugees are. And strategic litigation, using the courts, so that once we've got these laws on the books, they're a reality in people's daily lives, right? 4 tools, that's all we need. We know this can work. The reason I'm here talking to you today, and what I hope you'll all do with those 3 numbers we talked about, is to help us share this information at the UN, at the International Labor Organization, within the US government. I've talked to officials, and when I ask them to guess the average time in a refugee camp, they say 6 months. Right? Well, of course you don't think that you should be working on International Labor Organization practices with refugees if you think the average time that they're spending in a country is 6 months. But this is one of Asylum Access's clients. This is a refugee in Ecuador. You'll see in a minute a refugee in Tanzania. And I'm here on their behalf to ask you, go home tonight, tweet, share with your friends this weekend when you're talking to them. Let people know those 3 numbers. There are 16 million refugees in the world. Hardly any of them are going to reach the US. And if we change the way we respond to refugees, We can change the way that they live. We can keep them from living in internment camps for 19 years, and we can make refugee rights a reality all over the world. Thanks for helping me do this.